Let's move on, though, boys. We had a lot of other games here on this NFL Sunday, but like Boomy said before, it wasn't the greatest slate of games on Sunday, Week 9. But Boomy, how can you give us some games?
Of course, first one we got the Atlanta Falcons beat the Denver Broncos 34-27 in a game that features two 3-win teams that I can't imagine anybody would have watched. Both of those teams stink.
When you needed points, it was a good game to watch.
That's true. Drew Lock threw for over 300 yards, though. Not a bad offensive output for either team, but neither of those two teams going anywhere real fast. Game we all were kind of in on and very wrong on. The Seattle Seahawks got it handed to them out in
the Bills
Western,
looked good
New York.
today, boys. The Bills looked good, and the Seahawks defense not looking good.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, that was the easiest over I've ever suggested in my life. By the way,
you nailed that one. But still, I mean, both of those teams are probably going to end up in the playoffs, sitting at 6-2 and 7-2. Russ, losing effort.
Offenses, man.
That touchdown he had today was like a 70, almost like a 60, 70-yard pass that looked flawless.
We saw two quarterbacks that almost threw for 400 yards each.
In that same game too, we saw DK Metcalf, and that guy is an absolute monster. I know it gets talked about and mentioned occasionally, but him and A.J. Brown were teammates at Ole Miss, dude. Like, when you think about that those two receivers were a tandem in college, that those two are devastating.
Ole Miss has some good wide receivers.
Yeah.
They've had some those guys, they were like, and they were not very good. Like
I'd say for a team that never made it to a conference championship. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's the SEC West.
They never made it to. I don't think they went to a bowl game with those two guys.
I think you're right. They had some bad teams. I think if I remember right, those defenses were pretty terrible. But I could be wrong on. The Ravens head to Indy and outlast the Colts 24-10. The Colts just couldn't really get their offense going.
Philip Rivers flailing on that scoop and score when he went for the tackle.
If you were trying to run backwards like that, come on. That's tough.
Well, I know. I'm not saying that I would look any better, but that's just a priceless picture. His arms are both going up.
And he just sits up like, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
This is going to be a meme.
But also two most likely playoff teams that were – I mean, Baltimore is so weird because, I think they're good, but, 24-10, yeah, it's going to win, but, they only scored 24 points, and the offense is supposed to be this, electric factory of instant offense, and it's just not really the case.
I'm starting to think Big Cat is right on them, and I think they might be frauds.
Yeah, I don't know how deep we're going to make a run in the playoffs, but another game – between two very bad teams. The Texans outlast the Jaguars 27-25. Deshaun Watson, 281 yards, but the big story here, Jake Luton, or Luton, however you want to pronounce it, 304 yards out of a kid that no one's heard of until 2 days ago. So
look at what the Jaguars have drafted the last 2 years between him and Gardner Minshew in the 7th round. And the Bears can't get anybody. Think about that.
Yeah. 304 yards is absurd. Like I said, a game, probably not a lot of people. Those two teams combined for 3 wins on the season. The Panthers gave the Chiefs a hell of a scare in Kansas City and had a shot to win it at the end.
That would have been awesome.
67-yard field goal attempt. That was
and he had the
leg for it.
He just pushed it a little bit.
Yeah. He didn't really have much of a shot once it started tailing, but he pounded the hell out of it, man.
If they can keep things together in Carolina, the future doesn't look terrible. I mean, they have been in – I don't know if they've gotten blown out at all. They're 3-6, I want to say, but, they've got, 4 or 5 losses on the last possession of the game.
Christian McCaffrey's like a Pee Wee or a Pop Warner player out there, though, dude. It's crazy. He, always looks faster than everybody else on the field.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. He's so –
And I'm not saying he is faster or whatever, but he looks like one of those Pop Warner.
It's the same thing with DK Metcalf gets the ball and starts running. DK Metcalf starts running. It's
over,
oh my gosh! These are professional athletes around him, and he is just gone.
Right.
The Vikings
I'm so
continue.
slow. I've never been.
Dude,
I've never had breakaway speed ever in my life.
Have you seen pudding like slide down a table? That's like me running. Okay.
Same.
What an
Same.
analogy. That's hilarious. What a way of talking about
And then there's DK Metcalf running like what, like
How
a
would you-
3.940. It looked like chasing
Yeah.
down that tackle
how would
last
you
week.
explain your running?
Like, that was
Where is he
insanity.
pudding?
DK Metcalf could run faster backwards than any three of us could forward.
Oh yeah.
That guy too. Total sidebar. This is becoming the DK Metcalf show apparently too, by the Ole Miss Hour. But that guy. If you've ever heard him on an interview, he sounds like Voodoo Taylor from
Yes.
Voodoo Tatum from Friday Night Lights TV show.
Yep.
That quarterback. That he sounds like has the same exact voice as that guy. I don't know why. I don't know how I picked up on that. I don't know because I was in a rewatch of that show, and I like the next day I heard an interview with him.
Matt has a lot.
So,
Matt has a lot of time at home.
This was a while ago. This
I'm
was
just
probably
kidding.
a year ago though. So.
But I never put that together. But now that you say that, I definitely agree.
I'm telling you, once you go back and listen to that show, then go hear him talk, and your mind's gonna be blown. It's the same guy, I swear to God.
The Vikings pick up another win as they beat the Lions at home 34-20. Dalvin Cook, my God, 206 rushing yards on 22 attempts. Right now, I mean, it's him and Derrick Henry for the best running back in the league, with, of course, Christian McCaffrey, we already talked about. But 2 weeks in a row, Dalvin Cook has put up, I believe, 200 plus in both weeks.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think he went over 200 last week, or at least all-purpose last week, whatever it was.
Yeah, 206 rushing yards. What did he have in the backfield? I don't know.
Which the Bears
46
defense, though,
yards.
boys. The Bears defense, you can give it to them. They contained Henry for as much as they could.
Yep.
So
what did Derrick Henry end up with? 68 yards. That's a pretty solid number.
Yeah, they didn't stop AJ Brown.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
The New York Football Giants defeated the Washington Football Team 23-20. Man, that was 20-3 at halftime.
That was one of my picks this week.
Yes, it was. It looked like the best pick of the weekend there at halftime, and then
they tried crapping it away.
Yeah, then they remembered they were the New York Giants and they can't put anybody away. They're like, oh wait,
how terrible is that division? That was for the division lead, wasn't it? That game.
Yeah, for like
well,
I think
the division is just
partial with the. That's what I'm saying. That's terrible.
Awful.
That's bad. That is not good. In the afternoon slate, the Las Vegas Raiders moved to 5-3 as they went to the Chargers and won 31-26.
I was wrong.
Catch the ball in the end zone.
Yeah. That's saw that was came down to the final call. I believe it was.
I loved San Diego, or I still call them San Diego. I love the Chargers today. I really did.
I did
I was
too.
so pissed. That was brutal.
Yeah.
Herbert's
I've been
a stud,
out on the
dude.
Raiders, so
Justin Herbert's a stud.
326 yards out of the rookie from Oregon.
Should have had 3 touchdowns again. Should have had 3 touchdowns with that kid. With that guy would have caught the ball at the end. What was that tight end? Their third string tight end.
How do you drop?
You got Keenan.
You
got Keenan Allen. I mean, come on.
I almost broke my TV.
The Miami Dolphins moved to 5-3 as they go to Arizona and beat the Cardinals 34-31. Cardinals had, I believe, a field goal at the end.
A lot better this week, even though they won last week. It looked a lot better this week. That Dolphins team looking pretty good.
Yeah, I want Brian Flores to coach the Bears so bad. I would kill for that guy.
I just want anyone not named Matt Nagy.
Mark Trust.
That team plays for him, man.
Sorry, I had to.
Move on.
Sometimes I forget was a person. The Steelers become the first team to not cover all year against the Cowboys. They do win 24-19 in Jerry World.
They didn't deserve to win that game.
No,
I'm just gonna say right now. They're lucky that the Dallas Cowboys stink because they should not have won that game. I had the Steelers
If
minus
the Cowboys
14.5.
had 30 more seconds or one more timeout, they would have won the game.
I was like, ooh,
I had
Steelers.
I had the Steelers in a survivor pool this week. I was sweating that one out a little
They
bit.
want to prove that they're a good
should have
team,
been a
whatever,
threat.
and boom, they go out like that. I mean, yeah, they won, but come on.
That was a typical, like, they definitely just overlooked. I don't know. I'll look real
maybe
quick
they're
to
just.
see.
I don't know. They've won some weird games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're 8-0 at the end of the day, but like you said, Zach, there has been some weird ones. And then the game Sunday night just went final. The Saints just absolutely shellacked Tom Brady and the Buccaneers 38-3.
Tom Brady,
Good
3 interceptions.
Yeah, everybody thought Antonio Brown was going to be the savior. I mean, and they're still 6-2. Don't get me
they'll
wrong,
be okay,
but
that did not look good.
did we count Drew Brees out too early
No.
here? I mean, he threw 220 yards.
I've always said this was a good team. And they're using Taysom Hill a lot. And I don't know. The Bears. I mean, this Tampa Bay team, their defense is not the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though? Like I said, people have just been saying that Drew Brees is getting old, which, yes, he is. And he even looks like it. But even games like tonight, like that team has so many explosive players outside of him.
Yeah, can't disagree there. But the Saints 5-2, Tampa Bay 6-2, and then tonight the Patriots head to the Jets, 9.5-point favorite as of right now.
You would think that's a no-brainer. Then you kind of look at it, you're like, maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe
especially the way the Patriots is inconsistent as they have been this year.
But this is one of those games like. It's just you have no idea. Like there's games where you're like, I don't know. There's a hard, like I can see the Patriots winning, and I could also see the Jets at least covering that number. Like it's just you can't really tell where you can tell where the Jets stink, but you can are the Patriots all the way there, or are they still maybe a little okay?
Yeah, it's. If you want, I mean, this is a great opportunity.
Don't ever forget Belichick loves to stomp on the Jets, though, too.
That's true. But in the past, he's had the weapons to do that.
And
I don't know
Gase
if he's
is
got
the coach.
Yeah, that's
true. True.
Very true. Hopefully next week's slate. I don't want to say that there weren't any good games, but there was just a minimal amount of good games this weekend. Mm-hmm. At least that's the way it felt to me.
You're right. The matchups weren't good.
Yeah, and some of the ones that you thought were going to be good, like Baltimore-Indy, just ended up not being a very good game. Some teams are really starting to weed themselves out as whether they're going to be a playoff contender or if they're trying to jockey themselves for a better draft pick. But yeah, it wasn't a great Sunday. I'll be honest.
The Cowboys were plus 625 to win this game today.
The Cowboys were?
Yeah, they were minus 14.5.
Garrett Gilbert that quarterback for him today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last play in the game.
Horrible.
No, the interception into the end zone was bad, but I mean, you'd expect that out of a guy that hasn't played a real football game in a year and a half.
One of the best performances by a quarterback for the Cowboys this year.
The other games in the late set were pretty good though too. The Cardinals Dolphins game was pretty good.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'll say that on the noon game.
The Chargers Raiders game, dude, that thing was nuts, man. That game was just back and forth.
I guess I was judging that more off of the noon games. You're right. The afternoon games were much better.
Mm-hmm. And Derek Carr catches a lot of heat and catches a lot of comments, and he's like kind of like a laughing stock in a lot of ways. Like that guy's not a bad quarterback.
No, he gets.
You could probably got him for a third rounder last year. Guess. Maybe a second rounder.
Yeah, Matt, us Bears fans really don't have much to talk about there, but we had a great Week 9 Sunday.
Take Fitz magic at this point.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, next Sunday can't be ruined by it.
At least he knows how to play with dog. He knows how to play with crap around him. So.
Mm-hmm.